Hey everyone, Chef Anthony here with Don's Appliances. Today I'm going to go over the Signature Kitchen Suite 24-inch panel-ready dishwasher right here. And you see, nice and panel-ready, seamless with the cabinets. You know, you could choose your hardware, but let's open it up. And first thing I see is the great lighting on this. So they really put a nice light in there, and if you have it, you always want a light in your dishwasher so you kind of see what's going on there. You know, great glide racks and everything, but I'm going to go over the features right here and kind of tell you what does what. So if we hit the auto, our first sensor right here, that's going to autofill and really select the setting. So what happens is there's a turbidity sensor in the back. All it is a light detector. And what it's going to do, the water's going to fill up and it's going to do a once over. And if the light shines through clean, it's going to go through a lighter setting. If the water is cloudy and dark, it's going to move to a heavy setting. Kind of like autopilot for your dishwasher. Great feature, okay? The next one is our heavy setting. This is really for the pots and pans. So, you know what I mean? That's really for your heavy stuff, your gunked on stuff. You had some stuff laying on the stove top that you didn't clean from the night before. That'll really go on the heavy. The next one, delicate, is really for your etched china and your better things. So what happens with good china and crystal glasses and things like that, the two things that get them are heat and detergent. That'll cloud, deteriorate, or patina your good silver. What happens on this setting is it lowers the water temperature, still uses the soap, and adds a full amount of water to kind of dilute that. So it's going to wash it, but it's going to take a little bit of extra care in it, okay? So the motor runs a little slower as well. The next is the refresh cycle. I tell customers this refresh cycle is really good if you ran a load of dishes, you went out of town on vacation, you didn't unload the dishwasher before you left. That's 99% of us, let's be real, right? So that refresh setting, you can click it on there. It's just gonna run a refresh, a quick cycle, and you know, kind of freshen up that dishwasher. Or even if there's any odors in there, we can run that refresh cycle. Or I tell customers if it's the holidays and say you bring out those seasonal plates from, you know, your storage or whatever, you know they're clean, they were just in a box and they just have some dust on it, run that refresh cycle on there, put a tab in and go. So it'll really save you some time and you can put out your Santa Claus plates. Okay? Normal is your standard setting. So this is for your regular normal washes. I mean, I don't use this as much. It really works well, but auto is going to be my everyday friend on that. I really don't use normal. I add the turbo in. The turbo is really going to kick off the you know, water saving feature and the kind of the smart feature of it. It really takes, you know, full power. So it's going to be full power, full water, you know, full heat. So it's really the longest setting. You know, it'll add an extra maybe 20, 30 minutes depending on the cycle you pick. But you want to make sure your Tupperwares are clean and dry. Turbo's probably the best friend for that. Now, this is a Wi-Fi enabled product, which is amazing. So it has a downloaded cycle too. So once you become your dishwasher pro, you can build your own setting and download it to the thing. So say you like a longer dry and a shorter this or that. Say you like the auto, but you want this to rest at that time. You can really go in, you know, with your smartphone or your tablet and download the right cycle you want and, you know, kind of have your own custom dish cycle, which I find good if you're really OCD and you're really picky about how you want your dishes, which a lot of people are. So that's great. So the efficiency options, you know, we can go the dual zone or the half load. The half load is really good. You know, there's not a lot of people in the home and you don't want to run a full cycle. That half load is, you know, if everything's sparingly in there and you just want to run the end of the cycle, that runs great. The dual zone, so if you hit that dual zone, you know, it'll go from the top or the bottom, okay? So you can choose which one you want. Our next one is going to be the performance option. So you have the ability for steam, high temp, and extra dry. Steam is ideal for, you know, wine glasses and rocks glasses and things like that. If you only use them seasonally for parties and they're in like a cabinet or something like that, you could run that steam cycle on them. It'll really get all the spots, it'll get all the dust, it'll get anything off them, and you could just wipe those glasses out clean, okay? The next one is high temp, and that really deals with turbo. You turn turbo on, high temp's gonna be on. So high temp really helps out in plastics and the drying process to really get all that moisture off there. Then you could even hit next step, the extra dry, and that's really for, you know, I guess, you know, our plastics and our Tupperware and our containers are the toughest ones to get dry in machines. So that, This is an ultra quiet unit, so it still comes with a delayed start if you want to run it after dinner or a certain time of the day. You have the ability, but these things are so quiet so much that, you know, I don't find myself honestly using the delayed start as much. The last button on here before start is the remote start. So, you know, being that it is a Wi-Fi enabled product, you can hit the remote start. This will blink on the Wi-Fi. So then you'll take your tablet or your smart device and, you know, you could really set the clock, you know, set it. This is great. I know a customer that loves the tech, you know, loves everything about the tech. He uses it every day. He hits the remote start, closes it, so he knows when he goes, you know, to bed, you know, he's scrolling through his phone, looking at things. He sets a reminder and sets his dishwasher and runs it when no one's around. I think that's great. You know what I mean? If you're going to be that, you know, the remote control feature really works out well. Open it up here. Let's talk about the inside. This is where our rinse aid goes right here. So we recommend rinse aid. And then this is really where our soap pod slides back. We recommend the finished tabs. And you could see this. It says power steam right here. This is really where those steam jets come out to kind of steam off all that glassware and things like that. We talk about 3-rack systems. So I'm going to start at the very top right here. Let me remove this. But this is kind of where all of the silverware goes. So you can line up your silverware here in all these little rows. This is really where you're going to put your slotted spoons and things like that. All your heavy whisks really live right here. It's a nice, convenient piece. This will go up too, so you know you can pop it up like this, and it can be even, or you can drop it down like that to get more access. I find this is really highly usable. You can get, you know, 12 to 14 place settings up here if you follow every little column, okay? That glides back, okay? So our next one, you know, let's slide this back. These will slide and pop up. This is gonna hold wine stems. And the crucial part is we wanna hold these at 45 degrees because the 45, the water runs right off. Very nice adjustable racks right here. So this can go down for bigger items, or we can pop it up, you know, for plates and bowls. So, you know, it gives you the option instead of just firing something in here and damaging these precious tines so they can go back or forward, all right? You have the wine stems on the other side. These right here, so if you hold these tabs down, this is telescopic. We can rack it up or rack it down depending on if we want higher or lower things on here. So, you know, if this clears, then we can go lower. We can put taller things on the top and vice versa, okay? So slide that back. This is our caddy basket still, so you can slide this. You can put your forks and knives for additional storage. But I find, and I tell customers, if you're going to use this top rack, remove this, and it gives you a whole new world of usage. So now, you know what I mean, we can pop these up, we can put our dinner plates in, we can put small soup bowls here, you know, wider cereal bowls as well, work out well. If you don't want the cereal bowls, another additional tine pops up to slide thinner, smaller plates, B&B plates or app plates, things like that, right? I'm gonna slide this out and I wanna show you the very bottom of it, okay? Right here's where the salt's gonna go. So if we turn this guy open, we're gonna put salt right in here, and that's if you have hard water. That'll probably be about 6 months worth of salt, things like that. So salt will go in here with a cup of water and it'll disperse out through the machine, okay? The only this is the spinner right here. This is kind of where everything lives and breathes. This is the only other thing we have to worry about. This is our triple filter. So we take this out. This is really gonna get all the fine mesh particles, all the food grade, everything you miss. If you ever crack a glass, this is really where it's gonna end up. So this obviously is showroom mode, so it's nice and clean, but it will get built up with debris. So all you have to do is really put it under your sink with some warm water or soak it down for about 10 or 15 minutes. No soap needed on this because we don't want any soap into the machine because it might sud up. You know, there's enough soap. So no soap on this, just some warm water, let it soak, make sure it's nice and clean. And it only, the cool part is, here's the arrow. It only pops in one way, so we just take it in, take it in like this, slide it, and then put it right down, and then it locks to the right. So that's nice and locked. So depending on your usage and if you clean your plates or not, that's either a once a month one or once every 3 months, okay? So think about that. It's really the only maintenance you really have to worry about other than filling the rinse aid and the soap dispenser. So I'm gonna close the door and we're gonna finish that. That is your Signature Kitchen Suite 24-inch panel ready dishwasher. Enjoy and happy clean dishes.